Hi, welcome back to channel TrainStation 2. Alright, we managed to get fourth in the second competitions when the Germans are at play, or we can only watch basically. So apparently the top three players are at a different league, probably jamming all the way. So later on when you check out the ranking and you look at the number of EPs, you'll understand what I mean. So apparently most of the time it's quite frustrating to have a jammer in the team, but apparently this time round I met with 3. So it's almost impossible for us as a people with very little gems to get near. So in this whole competition I didn't even spend any gems to get it done. So apparently it's really quite difficult sometimes when you're put into such situation. Of course, I think it's a bit of a competitive mode, of course, especially when you have a lot of gems and people are competing, fighting to get first, and among the 3 of them, they are doing that way. So there was quite a good gap between the 3 of them and the rest of us. And being in the 4th position, I'm actually quite glad because initially I was at the 5th, but gradually when I pick up speed because of the items that they requested, I do have it, and probably the 5th guy doesn't have those things that they requested. So with that, apparently you can see here, no matter how hard I try, there's always 100 to 200 EP away. So among the 3 of them, they are really close. Sometimes you can see the positioning changing all the time. Really, I believe it is all deal with gems. So of course, if you ask me what is fair in the competitions of Pixel Federation, if they doesn't want to really make a profit of this game, which is impossible. Actually, without gems, I think it's the best way to test the capability of people playing in terms of resource management and whatnot. But apparently, once you have this gem in play, apparently you can't test the real ability of competitors. Apparently, everybody with money will win competitions for sure, but I believe that is not the most not the best bet actually. So if you ask me, of course if you have affiliated games gems and you're not using real money, I think that's still alright, but if you're really spending real money, I think that's wasteful. So do remember, it's always important for the rest of us that has really no gems or a very tiny warehouse and a small fleet. It's important to base your foundation that basically goes a long way. Warehouse is one of the foundation items that will move competition to competition, region to region with you. They will never leave you a lurch. And what I mean by that is basically if you have train types and train capacity in this region, at max it can be used in the next region competition, but subsequently that region trains is no longer useful. So unlike warehouse, is always able to use it regardless of which region you are in. So it's really important if you should focus more of using the 5 building technique to go and build up your population and hence have your warehouse upgraded. I think that's the key fundamental that you must get it done. Fortunately for me, I didn't have that in the first place, so my warehouse is still very tiny. The next thing you really got to work on is really the current region, train types and train capacity, because not only will help the so-called the current region competition, it will help in the next region competition as well. Do not really waste too much those precious gold and parts into upgrading trains in the previous regions. So what's basically you do that is only when you have this mini tycoon event where they ask you to upgrade trains and give you stars. Other than that, please do not do that. It's total waste of gems and also called coins and parts. And of course, even do not waste your gems to buy previous region trains at all, because you can actually get that done in the Seaport event. By now you have already played 1 or twice in the Seaport event. It's not easy. Sometimes they give you 1 or 2 of those legendary. I think that's good enough. Anyways, you won't be using your previous region trains anyway. Most of the time I'm getting this, but that's perfectly understood because Pixel Federation has to make money after all and can't give you all the legendaries, right? So that being said, in competitions, not only you have to prepare, always the first competition I think is the easiest of all. It's because everybody is at a level playing ground. But once you enter into the second competition onwards, people will be preparing a lot of event items. I was stuck at one moment preparing those event items because I ran out of them, and trains requesting or this actually once you send out the trains, you couldn't be preparing those stuff. So there are various methods. One method is basically you use those dispatchers to collect the raw materials, get the things done before you send out your next dispatch, or you can be using majority of the trains out sending dispatch, and then have two that does the so-called the jobs of whatever requested items, and then go and do the run the errands kind of train. So these are two of the methods you can deploy. Of course, if you go all the way without preparing in advance, you will always be hit with ones that you do not have anything and you have a lots of dispatcher at hand. I think that's totally wasteful. So always prepare, and even though you have prepared, let's say, 2 out of the 3 items already, go ahead and prepare for the third one before you send your trains out. The 2 remaining jobs that you already have items, set as a buffer so that you can buy some time to go and create the items required by the last competitor. Alright, apparently I do see people in the forum that says that actually they complete like what, 98%. That's really a lot. I'm only at about 76 or so. So at 98%, I do hear that say that they could be left with just 2 jobs, 2 customers. So apparently this competitions, so this event, they are forcing you to complete 100%. That's the reason why. So you try your best to dispatch the items at evenly, so you can try to get all of them at the same level in terms like, if it's a job of 3/4, make sure all of the 3 customers are 3/4 and then all are 4/4 together. So that will minimize the effect of just assuming 1 job left, and I think that's quite painful. So generally, I think once you hit 100%, the EP will be higher. I believe by now you should have experienced what I did. When you progress higher, the EP seems to be greater. Like even I've got 70 plus EP and 50 plus EP, which is really great, because that will help you fight competitions better. So people that are at still a very small percentage in terms of the event progression, you will suffer because you're getting 30 plus EP where people are getting 70 plus EP. But likewise, I do see apparently those people who are actually doing those high EPs, they are climbing very fast. But apparently, personally, I find it very difficult when they ask for really a lot of those items, and with a small capacity trains, basically you're going to waste like maybe 2 or 3 trips to get things done. So that's the disadvantage of my capacity in terms of Region 7. People who are more established in Region 7 will have high capacity train, while I'm currently still at 418, probably going to hit 419 soon. And with that, it's still very junior in this region itself, which is totally what I wanted, because I do not want to progress really fast, because end of the day we wanted to have a really strong feat to fight better competitions. Again, another common train as usual. Then again, I'm going to say that whenever you hit jobs, you can see here 7650. So there are really good EP jobs waiting for us as we move upwards towards the completion of 100% mark. So make sure do not hold back, go all the way as much as possible. Alright, at this juncture you can see here the top 3 players are really close together, and there's no way we can get near. Even for myself, like I said, I count myself lucky. The 5th guy seems to be taking a break already, so the position is more or less set. I'm 4th and he's 5th. And as for the first 3 people or in my team, or in the competition leads, I don't know who is first until the end of the whole event. Alright, so we got 4th, and you can see here the positioning. Alright, so the first guy was the guy that lost to me in the previous round, that he got 2nd at the last moment, because I've completed my jobs at the last 7 seconds. So I'm going to keep probably some of the high EP jobs and not do it, collect it actually, because once the next competition start, I will have a good EP head start. So that's one way. Another way to look at it is that probably there'll be even higher EP along the way. So let's see how it works out. But apparently the next competition will be a short one, at least not so tiring. This was really tiring for me. It was just too dreadful. draggy for me to have a 3 days competition. Sometimes more appreciative of the 2 days competition itself. And I'm probably going to start late as well. Depends on the timing. Probably 8 hours or 10 hours or even 12 hours late. But let's see how things work out. Alright, so now at the tail end, it's time to really take a break and have a good rest. Alright, you too, please take a break and have a good rest. Thank you for watching. Do like and subscribe. Goodbye.